What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to a hashtag good brother to sweet me. He is Lobo Loco, Allan Roque. And Alan, you've actually changed zip codes the last time we talked. You were in the Carolinas, and then now you're in sunny Florida.
I am in the sunshine state of Florida now. I'm no longer 28677. I am 33410, a little bit north of the 305. So
Whoa.
I'm where I want to be.
That's awesome, man. Well, I mean, first and foremost, how you doing? Because I know you were in a bit of an accident. As somebody that's kind of been through that, like that's never fucking fun. And there was a precarious position that you were in that maybe you might not have continued your fighting career.
hmm
So, like, how are you? What's the haps for those who don't know? And what is everything looking like now?
All right. Well, to break that story down, I got into a pretty wicked car accident. I lost memory, so I don't remember anything about that day or the event, and even probably half the next day. I was not here. I was disconnected. Lights were on. Nobody's home. I fractured my C7 vertebra. Yeah. So yeah, it fucking sucked, dude. It was scary. Like I was kind of like in denial for the first 3 days. Like I was like, it's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna be all right. And then it started to hit me, and my reality started to set in, and I just started noticing like, this fucking hurts. What if this is gonna be forever? Like I couldn't even like this is a miracle right now for me to be able to go up and down, left and right. Like I couldn't do nothing. I was invalid for like 2 weeks, looking up at the ceiling. It was horrible, dude.
Wow. So, I mean, what is the prognosis? Because it was a fracture, but not a full
Not a break.
break.
No.
Okay. So,
So
what?
the C7, there's two little points on it. It's called the look at that. There you go. Transverse process. So yeah, that's the right one. So this one kind of did this number right here and bent down, and that's the only thing they could see on the X-ray. And when you fuck with a bone, it messes with the muscle, all that stuff. It was touching a nerve for a little while, and I had to do some physical therapy and stuff like that. And it's just a miracle right now that I am able to keep on doing what I'm doing, because the neck is pretty much a game over if you fuck that up. Like I know people that have fused vertebrae and stuff like that, and or what is that called? The cervix, right? Cervical.
Cervical spine, yeah.
Yeah, I know people that have like their C1 and C2, and they can't even freaking do this anymore. They have to like lean all the way back. It's a scary thing, dude. And what's getting me, it still gets me too. I don't know what happened. Like my talk screen was clean. Or, I mean, it wasn't clean. I had like enough for two beers. They were like, it was 0.04. And the events that night, I wasn't going out to party. I was going out to go check on a friend. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, dude. I came back, and I actually woke up on my couch, and my girlfriend's standing over me, and she's like, "Your car is totaled." And I'm telling you, I had no memory. And I go, "Who the fuck totaled my car?" And then I can remember that, and I do remember stepping out to the car and seeing my car, dude. It looked like somebody took an axe and split it right down the middle.
No
I have
shit.
no idea how I was able to pull my car off the tree and drive. This is actually pretty humorous, though. So the cops were involved, of course, because there's a bad accident, they get involved. So there was a trail of transmission fluid and oil leading all the way to my house, and they basically just followed it like Hansel and Gretel all the way to my house. And
What?
yeah, and my girlfriend said they were questioning me. I was out of it, so I wasn't able to do any more like speaking or anything like that. She had no clue what happened because she wasn't with me. It was like a giant mystery box, and they did a talk screen, like I said, and nothing was in there. Like, it was just a crazy freaking night, dude, that I
Now,
don't even remember.
you, now, I mean, since because it's been a few months since. Do you know what happened, and how far away from home were you?
I was Thankfully I was in the entrance of the place I live, so it's like a giant community area. and then there's a one way in and a one way out. I was in the mouth of my neighborhood, so I made it to my house, almost to my house. I was like maybe a block away from where I live, and I've actually visited the tree and everything. I've like touched it and tried to sit there and meditate on it, try to get any
Yeah.
like memory, dude, because it's like a whole 2 days is gone and I don't know anything about it. Apparently, I did some shit. Like I stole 7 bags of ice from Sunoco, and there was 7 bags of ice in my car. And like I don't know, dude, something happened that night, and it's not sitting well. But I'm starting to come to the realization that I'm just gonna have to let it fly and just be more vigilant next time I go out because I have some theories. I might have been dosed or something like that. Somebody wanted to rob me or take something from me, and they were trying to dose me or something like that. That's a theory I have because nothing else makes sense to me. Like it's out of character. It's never happened before. It's just a giant mystery box for me, and I can't figure it out.
Do you know anybody in your family, either distant or otherwise, or close relative that might have like epilepsy or any of those like neurological?
Nope.
Wow.
We're a good breed, dude. We got good bones, good brain, good heart, good blood, all that stuff. There's no reason. It's not my father's never happened to my father. None of my brothers, my mother, my grandfather is still alive today. He's like almost 90 now, and it's never happened. So, and my
Wow.
grandma too. So it's like that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure it out, dude. But there's not much. It's like a cold case now.
Fuck, man. I'm
Yeah,
sorry that you went through it. And even though I don't know what's more traumatic, right? Like to your body or otherwise, right? The
yeah,
the
it is.
fact that if you can remember living through that, or having absolutely no memory, but still having to go through the fucking
Hmm.
physical therapy, the PT, the even the thought of trying
Yeah,
to
dude.
remember and it's just not there. I don't know
Yep.
what's more traumatic.
That was one of the. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I cried. I'm not gonna fucking. I
Yeah.
cried, dude. I was sad as fuck. I was like, my life is over. My career didn't even take off. I've wasted too much time. Like I was beating myself up. And what was getting me the most was I couldn't remember, dude. I was so fucking pissed. I got angry. I went through the stages of grief or whatever, and like I got PTSD from it, dude. Like now when I
Yeah.
drive in the car and shit, like if it starts raining, dude, I start getting a little tense. I don't even like driving anymore. Like it's just I don't know what happened, dude. So if I can't know what the variable was, it's just X on the board, dude. I don't know. I can't tell you otherwise.
No, I mean, I just went through, kind of not kind of a real battle with COVID, and
Hmm.
I went to almost the scene of the crime, the venue that I went to support my friend at for pro wrestling, was the same venue that a lot of people allege. I don't know one way or another, but in terms of the timeline was, it was the same damn place, and
Hmm.
I got anxiety
Hmm.
going, and it's just a 20-minute drive down the freeway from my place. But especially as I can see it in the distance, I was just
Right.
like,
That's PTSD, my friend.
yeah,
Just little things that trigger you, and it just sends you down a hole for a little bit. Yeah, dude, it wasn't fun. And speaking of injuries, also I had another little accident, and it may have been pertaining to the car wreck. But I was lifting weights one day, and I actually shifted my L4 vertebrae to the left a little bit, so my belly button was out of place for a little while. And
what the
yeah,
fuck?
that was last week. And I was out of training. I went to the doctor, got X-rays, got all that stuff, and they were like, "Your disc, it's not slipped, but it's like displaced." So it was like 5, 4, 3, and then 4 or L4. Yeah, L4 was like that. So it's 5, 4, 3, and I had to do some more fucking little physical therapy. But I kind of slacked on that. I kind of pulled out once I was able to walk again. I was like, I'm just gonna tough this out because
Well, I mean, I I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I mean, I'm referencing obviously the great Joe Rogan, right?
Mhm.
He, because of the years of taekwondo and jujitsu, fucked his neck up pretty bad, right? I think
Mhm.
there was like three of his discs that got all fucked up, right?
Yeah,
And they
he got
wanted to,
crushed.
yeah, and they wanted to cut open, and um, he was like, "Nah, fuck it, whatever." So he got one of the. Have you seen those inversion tables?
Yeah, the flip you upside down.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
he's just like, I did 2 years of that, 2 years of the fucking, like the, that helmet that they have to, the weights that you see at
You go
Mike.
there.
Yeah, and he's just like, I just strengthened my
Yeah,
neck,
it strengthen the muscles around it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
Eddie Guerrero, right? Eddie Guerrero, he had that, unfortunate accident where he almost died. A couple of them, where
Hmm.
he kind of OD'd and he was at the had to the wheel or whatever. He crashed into the gate of his apartment complex one time, and then the
Oh,
other
sounds
time,
familiar.
yeah, it's yeah. You might be Latino heat, sir.
Hey.
Um, but and then the other time, like he was in a soft top lowrider
Hmm.
and don't know whatever, but he actually ends up going through, like getting catapulted through the fucking soft top and ends up like
Oh
30
shit.
or 40 feet away.
You got ragdoll.
Yeah, and they said the only his muscle memory was such. Pro wrestlers and
Hmm.
fighters are, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are a different breed, right? They
We're
said
built
that
a
his
little
muscle
different.
memory, yeah, his muscle memory was as such that he took a wrestling bump. He took a forward bump, and
That's
that's
crazy. He
rather
freaking
than
woo,
yeah
freaking caught
rather
himself.
rather than just splatter on the fucking ground.
Yeah, well, that's what That's why I actually attribute my healing to the martial arts that I've been doing since I was 12 years old. So I just turned 31. So 12 minus 31, what is that? 18, something like that.
Yeah,
Sure, right? 19 years. Been doing 19 years, kung fu, karate, all that stuff. And I attribute martial arts to saving my life, dude. Like, if I was a average Joe, not to say anything bad about him, but if I was an average Joe, I don't think I would have survived, dude. I would have been plastered. I wouldn't have had any, like, I'm gonna say that like you just maybe sparked something in my head. Maybe I did save myself with reflexes or whatever, but
yeah,
because I was fucked, dude. I had a fucking my head hit the windshield, the top of the windshield, like not into the windshield, but like right where the
yeah.
it meets. And I had my seatbelt on because if it wasn't for that, I would have like
Went
drove out.
through.
Yeah, so I smashed that, cut that, and all that. So that's interesting that you brought
Fuck.
that up.
Wow. See, I'm actually getting goosebumps now. So,
Yeah.
myself and Blake Troop. I think it was November. No, December 1st, 2018. We are coming back from Vegas in the UFC Ultimate Fighter finale, like the very last season before they restarted it, and what have you. And we got T-boned. We got T-boned. It was me, Troop, and his dog. Right, his pit
Was
bull.
the dog okay?
Well, yeah, because the damn thing when we hit right, so it t-bones it, hits his side rather than mine, right? Car running a red light, right? And the wherewithal with Troop, where he actually veered. I don't even know how he fucking found it. Talk about muscle memory,
Hmm.
right? He fucking veered off into like some train tracks, I mean defunct train tracks. They hadn't been used in like at least 10 years, right?
Right.
But he veered off. If he hadn't done that, remember, our light had just turned green or whatever. We
Hmm.
would have veered into. There was like a family crossing the street. We would have hit them
Oh,
if he hadn't veered off
well,
and had
good
the
for him,
wherewithal.
dude.
Yeah,
That could have went south so many ways.
yeah. So when we both had our fucking seatbelts, so his dog, who was in the back seat, we're talking about a at least 40 to 80 pound dog, hit me in the back of the head, dirty Sanchezing me, right?
Oh my
And
god.
then my head propels into the fucking window where it spiderwebs.
Hmm.
It spiderwebs the glass, but luckily, maybe it's just like my fucking Polynesian, Melanesian head. They always say that about Tongan Samoans and Fijians. They got
There you
tough
go.
noggins, right?
Yeah.
But no concussion, no compression of this, nothing like that. Like aside from the fucking huge ass bruise
Yeah.
of
Seatbelt
the
burn.
seatbelt, yeah. Like, and I had that for about a week and a half, and then I was good. I had PTSD. I was driving Uber at the
Yeah.
time, and it was like a fucking rough week trying to get back. And like
Yeah.
the first thing that I got was like Burbank Airport to San Diego, which is like a 3 hour drive, and I was like, oh fuck me.
Yeah, dude, we're laughing, but it's a trip, dude. Once you hit like you get that PTSD feeling, dude, like you can control it. It's like an anxiety level that kind of does this number right here. You're like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. No, wait, no, it can't happen more than once. But what if it does today? Yeah, dude, it's not fun.
No,
It's definitely not cool.
no, man. I'm glad that you're here to tell the tale, though. That's for sure.
Hmm. Me too, dude. I was scared. My girlfriend was scared. She thought I was faking it. That's how dramatic it was. She thought I was playing it up and stuff. And then I told her, I was like, she thought I was trying to hide something. She was like, oh, he's just, she doesn't want to think the worst. So she's thinking, oh, he's hiding something. He got in trouble doing something and he just doesn't want to talk about it. And then about a week goes by and I'm like, look, I want to know what happened. If I knew what happened, I would tell you. Like I would tell everybody what happened, but I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't.
Wow, man,
Yep.
and it's crazy how the mind and brain can work. I think so. I was talking here. Of, actually, it was ironically enough like literally the moment where Carlos Condit retires, because I was talking to Dr. Roman Velasquez, who's a lot of the guys and girls at Jackson Wink, in New Mexico.
Hmm.
He's their neurological coach,
Okay.
right? And the brain is something different, right?
Yeah.
Because you hear of stories where they're in people are in traumatic,
Hmm.
crashes, or something happens in their brain where like there was a guy who was like big strapping guy, straight hetero, had wife and kids and everything like that,
Hmm.
has this traumatic brain injury, and he's absolutely, unequivocally flamboyant gay.
Oh, then change his wires up.
Yeah. Then also that there's people that traumatic brain injury is happening. They speak one language and
No,
wake up
yeah,
speaking the next.
I've heard of
Right?
that. They'll be
Yeah.
speaking Cantonese for some reason, and they
Yeah.
watch like
100%.
two Cantonese movies, and now all they know is Cantonese.
Yeah. And then I think one of the most infamous ones, right, is Chris Benoit, right?
Hmm.
So they said at the Chris Benoit murder suicide, murdered his wife,
Yeah.
murdered his son, then commit suicide himself. But when his dad donated his brain to the Sports Legacy Institute, that was headed up by ironically enough, Christopher Nowinski, who was a Harvard grad, and he was a pro wrestler up until he had a
Hmm.
fucking career-ending concussion, a series of concussions, and he couldn't do it anymore, right?
Right.
So they donated Benoit's brain to that organization, and find out that Benoit had the brain of a 70-something year
Hmm.
old Alzheimer's woman. It
Really?
changed his gender
That's crazy, dude. That
to
is
the
absolutely insane. I would never
yeah.
have thought the brain was able to do that.
No, but when you do that, right? It's like
Hmm.
and I my mom unfortunately passed away of a brain aneurysm. Like when they brought her in, she had, I think, about 15% brain activity, which, even to be a vegetable,
Hmm.
right? What they consider like comatose, whatever, is about 30%.
Right. So
So my
yeah, that's no
mom,
bueno.
right? My mom was like 15%. And I remember, back in the day when Princess Diana passed away, like she loved the
Hmm.
royal family, loved the Kennedys and the whole
Hmm.
pageantry of it, right? To the extent where she even got shitted on when her brother passed away of a massive heart attack at their half brother's funeral.
Hmm.
My uncle literally passed away at my other uncle's funeral, right? But my mom, when her like full brother, not the half brother, passed away, and she was giving the eulogy, she's quoting literally what Princess Diana's brother sat at, Princess Diana's
Yeah.
funeral, right? And like all the Fijian people just shit on her and whatever. She was wearing a wig and all that shit, and they just completely shit on her. But with that all being said, They did when Princess Diana passed away. I remember her and she talking to my sister and I when they were like, "Oh, she's in grave condition." They said grave, right?
Mm.
And my mom, there was just an epiphany that happened. She's like, "Oh no, she's not going to be the same again." And this is, for about 10 years up to this point, we'd heard of like Terry Schiavo, the woman in Florida who was kept alive. Her parents wanted
Oh,
her
right. I
alive,
remember
right?
that
Right.
whole court case. Everybody's
It was
like,
like
yes,
a
no.
20 years almost.
Yeah, it was bigger than OJ Simpson, dude.
Yeah, no, 100%, right?
Yeah.
So my mom just had the epiphany when Princess Diana passed away. She's like, she looked over at me and my sister. I was in middle school. My sister was still in elementary, and she's like, if that ever happens to me,
Hmm.
you end it,
Yank,
right?
yank that cord, baby.
Right.
I think everyone actually had to come to that realization because it was such a big thing. Like, everybody had to do that. Like, they realized, hey, this could happen to anybody, and then I gotta let somebody know like what
Somebody
I want
know.
to happen because otherwise you end up like Terry Shaw. And I, I would have said, I personally, you can shit on me if you want. I would have pulled the damn plug. It wouldn't have been a big
Yeah.
thing. It wouldn't have been a big thing. It would have one and done. That's it. But a lot of
Well,
people disagree.
yeah, no, and that's the again, when you say this or and even that night with my mom, right? It was surreal walking to the hospital, and they
Hmm.
were like, "Oh, this is the situation," because 3 years before, we were in a similar situation on Christmas Day, 2010, when my dad passed away, right?
Hmm.
So, but there was no hope. Like he was DOA, But with
Right.
my mom, there was at least something. But my mom was married, right, where my dad wasn't. So I was like, next of kin with my dad. I couldn't
Mm.
be for my mom as the oldest son or oldest child because she was married, right? Well, my stepdad loved him, but he wasn't privy to that conversation, right? And
Hmm.
he was like, "Let's do tests," right? And they
Hmm.
were telling her, she could have a heart attack, whatever. My mom never had a heart attack. That was actually my dad's deal. Like he had
Right.
2 heart attacks before I was even out of grade school, and then not another one for another almost 30 years. But that was the one that took him, right?
Hmm.
So my mom, in the day of testing, had 2 heart attacks and a stroke.
Sorry to hear
So
that, man.
yeah,
Damn.
it went from 5 to 7 to 2.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, man, the brain is something different. You could get lung transplants or take a piece of your kidney to give it to
Yep.
somebody else, but once this is
This
done,
is all you got. You can't take it out. You can't put another one. It's not a light bulb. You can't. Once it burns out, say la vie.
yeah. So I guess in regards, because one of the reasons why you left Carolinas and then relocated to Florida was obviously to continue and further and advance your combat sports career. So where does
Hmm.
that stand? Because I know you were contemplating retirement. Like where you right now?
I'm gassed up and ready to go. Like, my fire's relit. I went through some things. I'm actually thankful for it now. Like, I'm not saying I'm fully over it, but I've come to the realization that it's just made me realize how bad I love this sport and how much I want it. Like, it had like that hasn't gone away. I wept for it, dude. I freaking wept for the possible death of my career, like as if it was a brother of mine.
Yeah.
So, like, coming down, I had to leave North Carolina. COVID's still fucking up there. I think they're doing some events now, but it's like selected people can come. It's not really. It's like a giant glorified sparring match. That's kind of
Right.
the vibe you get from it. So, but at the time that I left, when did I leave? I think I left in June. Yeah, June, because I stayed for my mom to spend one more birthday with my son. So yeah, June. I left, came down here 33410. I kind of sat on my heels a little bit because when picking a gym, you don't just walk up into a gym and go, "Hey, I want to be a member." If you really want to, you know, have it be meaningful, you scout around. So I heard of Palm Beach boxing. I heard a lot of good things. We got top America Top Team, stuff like that. MMA Masters, all them. And I actually found this place called Ground Control. If you can see this guy right here, hold on. I'm actually pretty proud of this place.
It's the gi.
It's the Gigi. There it is, Ground Control. So I actually found Ground Control, and I walked in, and I met Rocky Marcatoni. I'm probably butchering that, but his name is Rocky, and he's actually one of the founders of Ground Control, and they dominate the Northeast in Maryland for the sport. So he told me his spiel, and he was like, "Yeah, we're doing really well up there. We got a lot of clout, we got a lot of respect and reputation up there, and we decided we wanted to expand, and we're in Florida because you said it yourself. Florida is now the mecca of MMA and sports and stuff like that."
Yeah.
So I was like, I like the way he's talking to me. Like he was very, cut and dry. Like he didn't try to, flour and,
Yeah.
give you all
Bullshit.
this
Yeah.
sugar and stuff. Yeah, no, he was like, this is what we're doing. This is what I want. I'm gonna have it because I asked him. I was like, "Are you gonna have a competition team?" Because he just opened up. Like this is a
Wow.
brand spanking new gym, dude. Like the month that I was there was the month that they just bought the place, purchased place, filling up the place with all the gear. So I walked in and I was like, "This is a pretty bare gym. Like there's not even punching bags or anything. They just have the mat." So
Wow.
immediately I'm like, "E." But so I got to talking with him, and then I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll be here later tonight, and blah blah blah." And then from the first training day, dude, we kind of hit it off a little bit. Like we joke around and stuff, and like he's uh I think just 2 weeks ago, he finally saw me training, how my heart is, how my head is, and stuff like that. And he was like, "So what are we gonna do with you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Are you gonna fight?" And I looked at him. I was like, "Am I gonna fight?" "Yeah, I'm gonna fight." I was like, "When we fight?" And then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna get the competition team started here. I'm gonna let you know. You let me know when all the gear is coming in because the whole distribution thing with that little boat doing this little 180 maneuver down in Panama
Yeah.
fucked everything up for us. So he's still waiting on his gear, like to this day. But it's supposed to come in this week, I think. So finally, but yeah, I've been living it up there. I actually picked up JiuJitsu. I've never really done
Wow.
See, I can't even say it. JiuJitsu.
There we go. Not geek jujitsu.
Yeah, JiuJitsu. No, so I've always done no gi because I don't know why. I'm regretting it now. I probably wish I would have thrown the gi on a lot earlier in my career. I'm a white belt in the gi world, so it's
Me
funny.
too.
Yeah, it's funny. And then like everybody like since the first day of rolling and like people and members coming in, they see me with this white belt on, and then I'm over here sweeping, flipping, taking down, and all that stuff. They're like, "Are you really a white belt?" I was like, "In the gi world, I am." So
Wow.
yeah, so it's fun. I'm excited. It's a whole new adventure. I'm ready for learning a whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, it's great, but obviously, with as long as you've been, you're almost a 20-year veteran, right? You've started in your preteens, right,
Hmm.
in some sort of combat sport or another, and shout out to rest in power, but your sensei,
Oh,
Master Rick Davis, um, Rick Davis is a fucking badass on the feet. Now he did
yep,
some ground stuff and everything like
yep,
that when it came to it, but like if you put in the Google machine Master Rick
yep,
Davis, he's kicking the shit out of somebody,
yep. That
right? Or
man
punching it.
was
Yeah.
scary, dude.
Yes.
Just being the demo guy when he's demonstrating, just being the demo guy, and he throws an elbow at you, it feels like he's throwing a blade at you. Like you don't play. Like he kicks that pad, and you're taking a couple steps back. Like he's all around. He was all around impressive. So
Yeah, he reminds me a bit of because we have Eric Paulson,
hmm
here CSW. So Eric Paulson is catch, he's judo, he's a Filipino Kali and Salat, and
hmm
and Rick for the Eastern Seaboard. But I mean, your world. I mean, he resided in North Carolina, but like he was the world's, right? And
Yeah,
he went
he was
around the world.
recognized. When he
Yeah,
would go to Thailand, they were greeting him, "Hey, welcome back, Master
mm-hmm,
Rick." He spoke Thai, like he
yeah,
spoke Thai like he was from Thailand, like he
yeah,
did the real deal stuff.
yeah. So I mean, that's it's crazy because I can understand for as long you were with him never training gi jujitsu because even
Hmm.
Like Muay Thai, it's not like karate. It's not like you wear, a gi in Muay Thai, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
You
So
wear some shorts.
yeah. So it's absolutely plausible to me that you won't, you wouldn't wear a gi in submission grappling. You could call it jiu-jitsu, you could call it catch
Hmm.
wrestling, sambo, call it what you will, but in submission grappling until now, and that,
Hmm.
and it's funny because like I actually when I started, I trained gi jiu-jitsu in Bakersfield in Central California, and I didn't know anything else. I was that guy who was like, if somebody, because I was fed the narrative by some of my teammates, like, oh, it's disrespectful if you don't have a gi, right? And then some guys who I later found out were like, you know, military,
Hmm.
police, law enforcement, firefighters, and everything like that. And they maybe had just come from work or, again, for tactical
Hmm.
reasons, you want no-gi because it's
Yeah.
more adaptable, just like no-gi and jiu-jitsu. That's why, places like catch wrestling, how Josh Barnett taps out Dean Lister,
Right.
or Eddie Bravo, beats a fucking Gracie in Brazil, right?
Hmm.
Wearing no gi top, right? Like
Yep.
that's it. It's more adaptable, but I could see how it's different, and especially for somebody that has been in combat sports as long as you have, you know, that it's a next mountain to climb. Whereas
Yeah.
for me, I was like the other way around. When I got to like Fight Academy, or there was an open mat, at my old gym, or Fight Academy in Pasadena with Savant Young, and they were doing Nogi Jiu Jitsu. I was like, and I love it. Like, but I could see where that could be gi for you.
You did exactly what I did when Rocky told me we're gonna add no gi jujitsu to our list. And I was like, yes, I can finally show out a little bit. But yeah, it's great. I love it, dude. It's a whole nother thing. And also, we're being taught by a Brazilian national, so he's ranked. He's really good. His name's Leo Silva. He's sponsored by Browse. He's real, dude. Like I like the way he teaches. He's he's like cocky, but in a humble way. I can't really put my finger on it. Like,
What is it? Humble bragging?
yeah, he's like,
Porra! It's like
yeah,
Uncle Hanach. Porra, I
yeah,
still your mother and I might be your dad, but no child support.
yeah, dude. Yeah, so he's good. I like him. I like what he does. He's very patient with me because I have a lot of bad habits from wrestling and stuff like that. Like he'll
Yeah.
look at me and be like, "What the heck are you doing?" And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I knew I fucked up around step 2, and now I'm on step 4, and I'm all fucked up. And then he'll just shake his head, get up, do it again, and then he'll like walk me through it, and then I'll pretty much get it by the second or third time. So, and then it's fun. He's a good guy.
10 points for your coach being Rocky and in jujitsu rather than Rocky, the fucking boxing movie that we all know and love. So 10 points for that. I popped hard for that one. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, Rocky
Yeah.
and jujitsu? That's great.
Oh no! I got you confused. Rocky's the owner of the gym. He does
Okay.
he does jujitsu though.
Okay.
He has a black belt and stuff like that. So yeah,
Okay.
your story's still right. But Rocky and then Leo. Leo's the
Leo.
Brazilian guy. Yeah,
Just start calling him Leo Rush from now on. Let's see how he takes it at.
that's funny. I've been picking at him too a little bit with his name. I don't
Yeah.
know if you're into anime or anything like that, but Hunter x Hunter. I was looking at him one day and I was like, you look like Leorio from Hunter x Hunter, and he just looked at me and he was like, I'm not fucking Leorio. And I was like, he
Oh,
watches
he
the
knows
anime.
it. He
Yeah, I
knows
was
it.
like, he knows what I'm talking about. And then he got at me a couple days ago. He came back at me. He's like, you know who you remind me of? He was like, you remind me of Allan. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I am Allan. And he's like, no, you remind me of Allan off of 2.5 Men. And I just went, oh.
Oh. Damn.
He fucking brought the smoke that day, and I was like, you know what? I don't like you, and I walked away, and then I came back, and I was like, you know, you're kind of right. He does look a little bit. We got a little bit of common features, but I am not. I don't have his personality. Hell
You know what? Here's what I say. I say, so there's a wrestler. His name is Leo Rush,
no.
right? So you just call him Leo Rush, but also because he speaks Portuguese, right? He's Brazilian, right? So what is R in Portuguese?
I couldn't tell you.
H.
H.
Hoist Gracie,
Oh,
right? Hoist
okay.
Gracie. So if you pronounce it in Portuguese, he'd be Leo Hush.
Oh, I'm taking
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm bringing
So
that to him for later
yes, and
today.
they're like, "What do you mean, Leo Hush? Like, when you tell me to shut the fuck up when I do some dumb shit?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
Leo Hush. I'll be like,
or
I'm
tell
bringing it.
him shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll be like, Leo
Hopefully
Hush.
I don't get you anaconda or Ezekiel
No,
choked.
yeah,
Leo Hush.
man, he
And
could
spell
get
it
me.
just like that. R. I mean, you could do Rush. You could do
Yeah,
uh,
I'm gonna get him
ROOSH.
tonight.
Roosh.
I'm gonna
Whoosh.
get him tonight. I'm definitely
Yeah,
gonna get him tonight.
got him, man. I
Yeah,
mean, so with the neck and everything, I mean, how you doing grappling, especially now? So it's kind of weird. Both types of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? Whether you do no gi, right, you're a little bit more fluid, right?
mhm.
But then when you do gi, you got motherfuckers yanking on your lapel,
This knee
right?
burn is a motherfucker.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So, how's that doing? I mean, motherfuckers, using their lapel to. Well, obviously, you're kind of like the tenured young vet there, so it probably doesn't. It probably happens to you by via your coaches rather than
Yeah,
your
my
teammates.
coaches get me with that so many times. Like
Yeah.
Rocky and I rolled yesterday, and like I was doing pretty good. I was keeping my base. I wasn't. He was trying to take down stuff. I was able to stuff him, stop him. I was getting a little proud, and then he grabbed my damn thing,
Mm,
and then I tapped, and I said, I keep forgetting about this damn gi.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother awareness level.
Oh, the worst if you're rolling with a higher belt in gi, and they're starting to unfurl their fucking, you know, their gi top, right?
Hmm.
And they're doing flashy shit like waving it like
Yep.
that, and
Yep.
you're like, you know what the fuck is coming, like.
Yep.
I'm about to get Ezekiel with the fucking thing. This
Yep.
motherfucker's gonna lynch me. He's
That's
gonna
what I said.
fucking lynch me, and I can do fuck all about it. That
Yep.
is like the worst fucking thing, the most demoralizing. I think that, and then also like if somebody doesn't wash their gi, right, and they fucking just rub that diamond weave fucking thing across your face, like,
That
oh, son of
salt
a bitch, I
rag.
might get staph. You
Yep.
stupid fucking asshole.
Yeah. Dude, I do that all the time. Like if I do something and I get something in and then they like stuff me or something like that, and then they stand up and they give me the look like I'm in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just stay the storm a little bit. I'm getting choked. Something's getting bent. I'm about to
Yeah.
get hurt.
No, it's not good. No, and especially like for those of you guys that don't roll, just to give you like a visual, right? Think of a fucking overcoat, but the overcoat when it's wet, it's like a fucking thing of sandpaper,
Yeah.
right? Like a fucking sandpaper,
And
right?
it weighs too.
Yeah, 100%. That shit is like fucking like a 10 pound kettlebell on top of a fucking piece of
Yeah.
sandpaper, and
Yep.
it's going across your face, and you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fucking shit,
Yeah.
right? And then this motherfucker is going to proceed to grab one arm and then one fucking lapel and
Yep.
choke you with it.
Yep.
And there's fuck all you can do. Or they fucking bow
Absolutely.
and arrow. Oh, that's the worst. The bow and arrow, because you know when the fucking sweep is coming. And then all you know is you fucking look at the rest of the fucking class and your
Yep.
fucking partner's that way. You're like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
Yep. 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 That happened yesterday, and I didn't get the bow and arrow, but I actually thought, see, this is why upper belts they're funny, and at the same time I hate them. But like
Yes.
I rolled, I got him right. I got the single, and I was able to like get him down. And in my head immediately, I'm like, fuck right, I took down a black belt. He rolled right over, ended up in full mount. And then he's got my arm and he's going for the arm bar. And thank God time was called. And I looked up at him and I was like, "You're a dick.
Ah,
You made
man.
me think I did something cool, and then you made me look like a fool, man."
Oh, the worst is when they fucking just lay there.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
did
fucking
the
timer
dead doll
starts,
thing, and they're
and,
like,
and
"Here you
you're
go."
just like, whatever. You try to remember maybe a neon belly. Your fucking neon belly. Whoop, they go
Yeah, they
30.
scoop your ass over.
Yeah,
You're like
you're
20 feet in
flying.
the
You're
air.
fucking flying in the
Yep.
fucking air. Yeah, it's fucked up. Oh, I mean, there was um, the homie Walter, right? When I was training. Now, Walter is a fucking a large human being. And then he's also a former Marine,
Oof,
right?
that's
And like
amazing.
6'4", just fucking solid, right? Well, on the way to fucking class, I had just come from work and I was like, I'm hungry. Let me eat a carne asada burrito.
Hmm.
Worst thing. So, show up to class. Guess who's teaching the fucking class? Nogi class. Afternoon.
Ooh,
Yves Edwards. Thug Jitsu.
you are in trouble, sir.
Yes. And then nobody wants to fucking roll with Walter. And that motherfucker just motions me.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck.
Yep. Your whole world just got a
Right.
little darker.
Yes. And guess what we're fucking trading?
Hmm.
Neon bellies.
Oh, your poor belly. Talk about
With
a blade
Walter
across the
after eating
belly.
a carne asada burrito.
Your poor belly.
My wife was sitting downwind on the fucking benches. Her fucking face was just like, oh,
Oh, you had the bubble cuts?
oh fuck yes!
Oh, man.
280 on my fucking stomach and a carne asada burrito. I'm lucky I didn't shart.
Yeah, I
I'm
was like, what
lucky.
color was your gi afterwards? Was it
Yeah.
white or brown?
No, well, it's funny because like I only have one gi, right? So
Yeah.
and it's kind of special. So like, it's special like me. But no. So when I first started doing jujitsu, it was the 100th year anniversary of this
Oh.
guy, Elio Gracie. Oh, that's Maeda. I'm sorry, that's Maeda. Wrong one. I pulled the wrong one. So Elio Gracie. It was the 100th year of a commemoration of him first starting to learn jujitsu,
Super
right?
Sensei right there.
Yeah. So I have a Elio 100. That's the only gi I've ever worn or whatever. But I watched it after every fucking
Yeah.
thing. So like all of the cool shit that's on it, the fucking big plaques, it's all just faded to shit.
Yeah.
On the
Faded glory now.
yeah, on the inseam, it had all of the fucking people he defeated. That's all.
Oh, that's bad, dude.
Yeah, but it's all fucked to hell.
Okay.
I didn't know any better, but yeah, that's fucking jujitsu. But also that dude, right? So Walter, funny enough, there was a guy. So Walter doesn't usually do stand up. He's just a
Hmm.
jujitsu, like whatever. We call him Sasquatch because he fucking looks like Sasquatch, his body type and everything, right? But this motherfucker decides he wants to start striking. Okay, now he's a realtor and a fucking nurse for Kaiser. Like he's a badass, right?
Okay.
Like a former Marine or whatever.
It's
But
rounded. Well rounded.
yeah, but it's not like he needs it for anything. It's not like he's training to fight or anything like that, right? So this silly motherfucker decides to announce it's his birthday. So the coach, not Walter, just some other, like maybe emo with the fucking gauges from plugs and shit like that,
Oh.
might have been 120 pounds, sopping wet.
Yeah.
And that dude decides to tell the class that it's his fucking birthday. So coach goes,
Must have been his
okay,
first time.
yeah. Coach goes, all right, birthday, line up. He lined all of us motherfuckers. There was probably 20 people in the fucking class.
Good day
It
to
was like,
announce it.
just kick the inside of his thigh.
Oh, you poor guy.
Just, and we're just flapping. It gets to Walter.
Oh,
Gets to Walter. Guess where Walter fucking ends up kicking him?
not the boys.
Yes.
Not the boys. Oh.
And there were some guys from Combate. There's some guys and girls from that have made it into the UFC. Right? So the flaps. Even I got him. Well, no, I didn't get him because I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't do that shit. Just like the fucking
Yeah,
belt, and you whip him with the belt. You whip
yeah,
me like my. Did my ancestors get whipped
yeah.
enough so
You're
I don't
not
have
whipping
to?
me. No, that's
Yeah,
it.
they're like let's not do that, right? So, so I didn't slap him, right? Walter steps up, kicks him in the fucking nuts, kicks him right in the giblets, and the thwap that happens was loud. Like it was ear piercing to the extent like it's Pasadena. We were like,
Oh my god.
let's go find his nuts at Dodger Stadium, which is like fucking 15 minutes away. It's
Like,
probably
don't worry,
there.
guys. I caught it in my mouth.
Yeah, it's just like, oh shit. Ah, man, the fucking the crazy shit that happens in training, and that's the funny thing. Like for me, when I first started training, seeing all these guys and girls just flipping the shit out of each other, and unceremoniously turning each other into pretzels, it can be intimidating,
It
right?
is intimidating,
But
definitely.
then there's a camaraderie, that you have with people, whether you can row one time out of open bat, or you can do it
Mhm.
for fucking 30 years, right?
Absolutely.
There's a respect that you got that we all have for each other
Yep.
that we've done it. Or
Yep.
even, kickboxing, Muay Thai. You could take maybe not a cardio kickboxing class, but aside from a cardio kickboxing class, like if you've done it,
Yeah.
people kind
Definitely.
of fucking know, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of your favorite? You don't have to mention names, but what are some of your favorite like training stories?
Okay. All right. So
I went there.
this is a little history. This is like from back in the day story. So Raphael Newborn Morel.
Yes, sir.
Me and him used to
Good brother.
train. Yes, he is. We used to train at the Rick Davis Martial Arts Academy, Muay Thai, and we would do late night training. So basically, we would do late night training when all the monsters would come out, and people who were crazy and out of their mind to be training at 9:30 to 11:30 at night. So we did our training, did our regiment, did all our stuff, warm ups, some drilling, some stuff like that, and we had about 25 minutes left in class. And Rick Rick looks around. There's only 6 of us in the class, and he goes, "You know what? We're gonna do this thing called Shark Tank."
Oh no. Oh no.
And I'm looking at him, and I look at Raphael, and Raphael's been through it before. Like he's done the Shark Tank before. I missed it the first time around or whatever. And he looks at me, and I look at him. I'm like, "What's Shark Tank?" He just puts his head down. He's like, "We're about to have some fun, and people are gonna get hurt."
Yes.
And I was like, "Okay." So I listened to the rules and stuff like that. So there's six
All I want to
people.
know is how long were the fucking rounds?
They were 5 minutes.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So it was a good. So he took the rest of that time, and we even went a little bit over. And I volunteered to go in and be the damn minnow. And
No.
yeah, because I didn't know, dude. I was like, this sounds like fun. Like I didn't think. I was not thinking. I must have been tired already from the drilling and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it, dude. I was in there. I'm not. I did good. I'm not. I didn't fall. I made it all the way to the end, but some feelings were hurt. So I got hurt. I got some bangs and bruises, but the ultimate ending was me and Raphael went up against each other. He came in like third round. I beat the first 2 guys, kept him back, stuff like that. I was doing pretty good with my cardio, and nothing really flashy happened. Jab, 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 a couple good hits, and then Raphael comes in and he sees me, and he's like, "Sup?"
Oh
I'm like, "You
no.
bastard! You kick me as hard as you fucking can. I swear to God, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. Best friend or not, we're gonna go." And you know what he does? It was like a minute and a half, maybe into the round, and I stepped too far forward, and he blasted my thigh. Like he was talking about the thing where you flap the thighs
Yeah.
for birthday. This man blasted my thigh and kicked it up in the air and all that stuff, and I was able to maintain balance. And then, like he pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad. So I like gave him the look, like, "Oh, you serious? Oh, okay. You know what's coming." And I got him good like this, like right in the jaw. And then we kind of went at it a little bit more. We were trading blows, heavy. And this guy's 127 pounds at the
Yeah.
time, so I'll give it to him, dude. He took that hit and kept going, and I laid it in there. Like, I laid it in. You can ask him yourself. He says, I hit like a fucking tank when I'm trying to hit. And so I get the other two guys in. The fourth round guy comes in. I don't know, he's like intimidated or something because he's playing coy, staying back or whatever. So I get through him, and then the final guy comes in, dude. And I'm tired as shit. There's no lying. There was tears. Dude, I was like covered in sweat, but there was definitely tears coming out. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I'm pulling the fucking Mike Tyson guard because I'm like so fucking tired. I don't want to do this no more. I just want to like take it. And I forget his name. I think it was Sam. He comes in and he's experienced. He knows what the deal is. He obviously took the last round, so he knows what he's doing. So he's tagging me up, and I'm playing the fucking peekaboo shit. I'm like fucking tired as hell. And I finally said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm tired. I want this to be over. I don't want to do this anymore. And I fucking cocked back super hard. Superman punch straight into the nose right here, dude. Down. He went down, nose bleeding and stuff like that. So I was pretty proud of that. And then when all was said and done, Raphael had I dislocated his jaw. So it was dislocated. And then my leg, he had my mom's a doctor, so I went home and told her to take a look at my leg. He had bruised my femoral artery. So whenever like the blood would pump into my femoral artery, it would feel like a rope was being like just it was not fun. It wasn't a good feeling.
No.
That was my first ever like hard spar, balls to the wall, get it done and shit like that. And I was able to stay standing, and I ended up with a KO at the end.
Well,
So.
and again, for those who are not that are unfamiliar, all right, the Shark Tank is that's the reason why I said like how long, because I think whether it be jiu-jitsu or striking and I don't even know where the fuck that came from, but it might as well be a fucking torture device, right?
It is.
Because whoever the fuck is in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gauntlet.
Yep.
You got to go whatever 1, 2, 3, 5.
And they're fresh. They're fresh. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
minute
one
rounds.
guy.
They're
fresh legs, fresh gas, all that stuff.
There's no fucking I'm going 30. No, these motherfuckers are going. This is a fight. Yeah. You're in a fucking fight. Like
that's Shark Tank, not a fucking bouncy wall.
Even jiu-jitsu is actually kind of. So I'm not gonna say it's worse, right? Like I never go like. I never like to go like the better than or less than or like goats or whatever because it's all subjective. But have I seen motherfuckers ligaments and quads get torn off in fucking Shark Tanks? Absolutely. Have I seen people get KO'd, dead dick in the dirt, stiff as a board? Absolutely. Like a motherfucking hacksaw Jim Duggan 2x4. Oh no. Like that shit has happened. I've seen big guy like big guys get KO'd by 125er women,
dude.
Right? I've seen, like the guy that looks like he's like Coke bottle glasses, KOs the giant, and then the giant squats the other person. Like it gets fucked up, right? And that's literally the only way you can get out of Shark Tank is like if you get KO'd, or like like a fucking like what is it? Bas Rutten, the fucking kidney.
Oh, the liver
liver shots.
Yeah, dude.
Liver shots.
Those are not fun. I'd rather get knocked out.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'd rather
100%. Because you just fucking. What is it like? Whitney Houston said, "One moment in time." Right?
Yeah.
That your fucking body is in one moment in time. That fucking time before you got liver shot, that's where you're at. You're like that. You see it happen in the UFC all the time, and the motherfuckers just like your eyes pop out.
Dude, they launch her, they do the fucking fall forward, and then it's instinct, dude. You just want to curl up and just love yourself for a good 3 minutes.
Justin Bieber shit. Yeah.
That shit is fucking oof. Like I said, I'd rather get KO'd, dude. Getting in and hitting the liver. Like when you get KO'd, you don't remember getting KO'd. You all of a sudden you're awake, got a little bit of a headache, maybe some ringing in the ears, but you can keep moving. You get hit in that liver, I don't wish it on anybody. Like, oh my
Sayonara,
god,
folks.
dude. Yeah, I don't care who you are, because there's no muscle covering it. I mean, there is. It's like a little layer, but it's not like it's
Not
exposed.
much.
There's
It's
there's
skin. It's
yeah,
literally
there's rib.
skin.
There's maybe 3 baby ribs that cover the top, and then the rest of it is just sitting there. Just how you doing? Uh, like literally, that's the noise you'll make.
Yeah.
Then you
You see
fall.
people throw up. You see
Yeah.
people like, yeah.
Yeah, I got another story about that one. So this was again another young and dumb story. So I was with Rick again, and I'm boxing, right? And this guy from New York comes down, and he's like, "Hey, can I train with y'all for like a month or so? I'm here, blah blah blah." And yeah, come on, dude. So I get in the ring with him, and we're sparring, and I'm thinking I'm hot shit, right? Because I'm getting him, ta 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 ta. And he does this strange thing. I'll stand up real quick because it's strange. You don't drop your hands in boxing.
Right.
So he does this. He was like this originally, and then he changed it like this, and then he does this.
Oh no. He's loading up.
Yeah,
That's what he's
so
fucking doing.
I'm thinking I'm bringing him down. I'm like, da, 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 da. Dude, this man brought the hand of God and placed it into my liver. I fell harder than I've ever felt in my entire life to this day from that liver shot, dude. I literally, like, no wind, eyes are fucking bugged out. I'm laying on the canvas, and I don't even say I'm done or anything. I just grab the bottom rope and slowly pull myself out. And I roll over, and Rick looks at me because it's like it's almost a rare thing for me to be on the floor like that. And Rick looks at me, he's like, "What happened?" I was like, "He took my soul. He took it. Tell him to give it back." And I'm still like,
Wow.
and then
Wow.
the guy comes over to me and he's like, "You got too cocky." And I was like, "I believe it. What else did I do wrong?" He's like, "You fell for my trick. I dropped my hands and you went straight for the head, and you just all you got was headshots. You were thinking headshot, 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 and my arms are up here trying to get it as many as I can, and he just snuck right under, like, whop,
Mhm.
and yeah, my soul left my body for about 10 minutes. I wasn't a good person after that.
Isn't that a Death Cab for a Cutie song with Soul Meets Body or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and like what you experienced, right? What he did to you was almost like pool sharking. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
nothing,
You
whatever.
trying to hustle me, boy? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you hustled
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
And then what you did was the equivalent of like the combat sports walk of shame. You basically
Yep.
whore bath your way out.
Yep. Like, cover me. Like, don't look at me. Like, I'm gonna go say some Hail Marys and try to save my
Yes.
soul.
Where's the
Like,
rosary, fuckers? Where's the rosary? Damn it.
yeah.
Oh
Like, where's
shit.
Jesus? I need Jesus.
Yeah.
Please help
Oh.
me.
Oh, he ain't here. What about the motherfucker with the 8 arms and shit? Like, can I call a
Yeah,
deity to fucking
somebody.
save it?
I need a deity. Damn it!
I
I
need a
need some
deity
help.
right now.
I need some higher power right now.
Oh my god, no man. But that's again, like I can't. I almost don't know. It's still till this day, right? I've watched wrestling since I was 2, like, and then ring became boxing, and then boxing, and then you fucking MMA. Dan Severn comes to WWF and fucking Ragdoll's Own Heart in like 96, 97, right? So like, oh, I've always been a fan of combat sports, right? But I don't like like, of course, like Bruce Lee. That's cool. I've got a fucking Bruce Lee figure right there.
Yeah, there he
Um,
is, right there.
yeah, but also like I also knew the fucking like people calling pro wrestling fake, but then believing that there's a fucking one touch fucking thing in
Yeah,
somebody.
like, oh, I touch you right here, and
Yeah,
you lose your sight for about 10 seconds or
yeah,
something like that.
and I was
That
just like,
ching
so
two point bullshit.
yeah, so I never really got, or like, the fat guy. Like, that's one thing I still don't understand, right? Like, you're a martial artist and then you're also fat
Yeah,
as the sensei.
that's
But you're making me run around and shit like that, like a dumb,
yeah.
and like you got like a fucking, a kegger rocking Like
Fucking spare
what?
tire and a half.
Yes, and I'm just like, so I kind of never got into it, but then like I still don't know why I like combat sports. Like still to this day, as much time I've spent in it. I mean, literally, I know my as a human being, I know, I know my parents who are no longer here, and then wrestling combat sports, right?
Yep.
So I still do not know why I like it, and I'm kind of like weird in my shit where I don't know what fucking movies out. I don't know what the fuck politics are. If it's like outside of the realm of music, and
Yeah.
and not pop culture music, like I don't even know if you're little Figgy Flappy or whatever the fuck with the tattooed face and shit like that. I know Tupac would probably shoot your ass. Like if Tupac were like,
Tupac is not happy. I'm gonna let you know
no,
that
not
much.
at all.
Biggie, Tupac, all of them, Easy
All of
E.
them.
They're all like,
Fuck,
what the
KRS One
fuck
is
are
still
you
here.
doing? Like,
Like
yeah.
KRS One is still here. The fucking Tribe Called Quest is still here. The fucking hell, the Roots.
Yeah.
Even they ass fucking Jimmy Fallon playing asses will be like, nah, man. Like any one of the Questlove will fucking drop beats on your motherfucking ass. Like you wouldn't
Snoop
even know
Dogg,
what.
he's voiced his opinion. He's like, I hate this generation of music. It's all mumble rap. It was like an interview. He's like, all I hear is huzzaba, 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 huh. And it's like, what are you fucking saying? I gotta like get the lyrics out. Like, oh, you said, hope you have a nice day. No, I didn't
Yeah,
get that.
yeah. No, it's weird, and not to speak ill of the dead, but I mean, you heard of that ex Tentacion guy?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That guy was a special character.
well, so to me, and not trying to make light of his unfortunate passing, but okay, so he's at a fucking luxury car place, and he basically puts in a story on the social medias where he's at, address, phone number, everything,
Shouts it out to the world.
right? Then also goes, I just bought this shit cash, and here's another, like, and it was like a Lamborghini or whatever, and then here's another fucking Louis Vuitton bag, which is like maybe a couple $1,000, and then he had probably what, like anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 in that, right? And he's like, "Come get at me."
Yeah, they're gonna come get at you, buddy.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah.
They did.
Oh, they
right?
got it. They
They got
you.
it. They got
Yeah.
you. They got. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how they found him?
How'd they find him? How'd they find him?
Because they posted it on their fucking stories and went
Oh,
live.
Instagram.
Yes.
That's right. Oh, I was
We
thinking,
just
I'm
shot
like,
that motherfucker and look at the money.
And then they fucking ratted on themselves.
Yes.
Fucking
Right?
idiots. This is like, that was just a whole circle of
Right.
fucking idiocy right there.
Right. Then the coup de grace, the cherry on top, was not to. It's horrible, domestic violence and everything.
Yeah.
But apparently, the Tentacion guy had a domestic violence rap on his baby's mama, right?
Yeah.
So
that was a story too. There's
Yeah.
a lot in that story.
right, and I don't know. I just like I kind of like hover on top like a fucking seagull. I hover on
Right.
top and just whatever, right? But then they have a memorial where he was shot, right? Which is weird. Like, why were they shot? It's just like the Jesus. Like, why wear the cross if that's like, didn't he rise from that? I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck,
I know.
I have no idea. I was raised a Buddhist. I fucking I don't have a dog in the hunt is what I'm saying. So and then so his baby's mom, right? This kid was born to both of these two. The guy that had the wherewithal to tell people to fucking cut him at him because he's had a luxury car and the bag of money, right? So that's the father, right? Then the mother shows up at the place with a teddy bear and his favorite pair of Beats. The fucking fans that knew about the domestic violence rap light the fucking Beats headphones and teddy bear in front of her.
Oh man.
You know what she does? She gets on Instagram. I don't know what they get. I don't know what they're doing there, cuz. I don't know. I could not decipher whatever fucking thing she said. And that's the mother of the it's disheartening, right? Like This is somebody who lost, somebody that they had the baby with, and
It's
like you could.
disheartening. It's disheartening, but it's
The,
also like they're washing it out, dude. They're making it about themselves and trying to like jump on the clout of a passing star. So it's like,
Yeah. So that's kind of like where I'm at, and like I love social media. I do because before, you had to spend $300 on business cards that probably nobody ever fucking used or whatever.
toss
If
it
you
as
need,
soon as they got it.
yeah, but if you want to know something about somebody, you put them in whatever social media, whatever the fuck, you figure it
Yep.
out. You could be whoever the fuck you want.
Yep.
Some people will say I'm a credible podcaster and interviewer. I
I'm
don't
on that
know.
boat. I'll give you that
I
one.
appreciate it, man.
I watch your videos. I have fun, dude. I'm on there commenting up the
Yes,
storm
you
all
are,
the
which I appreciate it. Hashtag good brother. But also, like before I was doing this, I at least presented myself. It's like that fucking uh, just for the job, not that you have, but the one that you want,
time.
and that's it. I try
I'm just
to,
for it right now.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's it. You could literally be who you want. If you want to be an ass selfie, fucking, filtered
Shaking,
Photoshop,
making, baking, faking.
yeah, with Bible quotes, mind you.
Oh yes, that shit, dude. I don't care. Like, I'm not really a religious type
Right?
person or anything like that. But how are you gonna be like showing your ass and your boobies and even guys too, dude? Like,
Yeah. No,
saying
God, there's
fucking
both. I've seen
God's got
transgenders.
me.
I've
I'm
seen
like, dude, you're not
all of.
talking about anything but your fucking ass right
I,
now.
I don't, and shout out to LGBTQ, what you want to identify as. Like,
Right.
we're not saying that, but whether it be the LGBTQ, straight, cis, whatever, like, whatever, you don't have to look too far on Twitter, Instagram, and OnlyFans to fucking figure out, like, but then,
Ooh.
yeah, or like sexy pose, and then also like Dalai Lama, like,
Yeah, empty your cup. I was like, whoa, what do you mean, empty my cup? Your cup's looking pretty full there, lady.
yeah, right. Oh man. So again, it's pro and con, right? Like it's
Mhm.
pro and con. And the thing about it is like people are like, especially like baby boomers are like, social media is gonna be the end.
Yeah,
Well, motherfuckers, did you have like Vietnam, right?
yeah,
Did you have
yeah,
like, angel dust and free love and
yeah.
fucking
Crack,
shrooms?
cocaine, all that stuff
Yeah,
came out back in y'all's day, and
yeah.
y'all were cool
The
with
good
that
old
shit.
days.
Yeah, the psychedelics, the
Yeah.
'60s, '70s, '80s.
And like like the music is too vulgar. What the fuck do you think Little Richard was saying
Yeah,
with Tutti Frutti?
yeah,
Tutti Frutti,
yeah.
the jizz on your booty.
Yeah, like what do you mean? Like, I know that's funny. Like, I've also noticed that too. Like the older generations will be like, "Oh, the cell phones are dividing us and putting distance between us." I'm like, no. You take a picture of back in the '50s and '40s. Y'all all had newspapers looking like this.
Yes, 1,000%. And before it was the newspaper, it was the fucking radio. Before it was
Yep.
the radio, then there was a smoke signal. Before it
Yep.
was a smoke signal, some motherfucker on a horse. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's the same. It's just like there's a component in humans that just do that, right? Like I'm, half Fijian, right? And my mom wanted to make sure that my sister and I never learn Fijian because, some of the Fijian people will be bullshitting.
Right. They'll
And as
tell
soon
you.
as they figure out that you don't know Fijian, right in front
Yep.
of your fucking face.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the Latins, man. As soon
Yeah.
as they find out, they'll teach you wrong. They will
So
teach you wrong.
yes, and what do you think when I ended up in Inglewood with all my Puerto Ricanos and Mexicanos and Dominicanos
Yep.
and
Oye,
South
ese.
American, Central, right? And especially for me, a lot of people because I actually because of my time in Inglewood living in LA, I actually know more Spanish than I do Fijian, right? And it's wild because like right? I've been doing
Rara.
this. I've been doing this my entire life because have you had Indian food?
Yes, I have. I am a partaker of that cuisine.
Yes. So have you had the bread with it?
Mhm.
What do they call the bread? Do you
Is it like?
remember?
Is it? It's not naan.
No, it's some. It depends on like the cast, like in India versus Pakistan. But also another one is roti.
Roti. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what I've been saying since I was like fucking little, right?
Right.
So when like I go over to like the homeboy's house and they're like, "Hey, my mi tia Rosa, you know, she and you know the Spanglish, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's never because, it's always pero, right?
Yeah.
Like always pero.
Pero sí.
Yes, even in English, it
Yep.
like when did you go to school? Pero I was sleepy. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, yeah, right? So when I go over to the dude's house, right, and it's like, oh, mi tia Rosa is fucking, you know, cooking breakfast and shit like that, and like, you want to meet her? And I was like, yeah. ¿Cómo estás, tia Rosa? And they're like you can do the
Oh.
and I was like, I've been doing the my
Yeah.
entire fucking life. Like,
And the mom
it's
was like, "Ay, qué lindo ese, sí,
yeah. No, bro, I get Dominicano still to this day. I get Dominicano, I get Cubano, Puerto Ricano, Belizean. Like I get it all. Like, you
Yeah.
know, Honduran. I get
Yeah.
Honduran a lot, and people don't understand. But I'm like, or even they're like,
Yeah.
they'll hear the little bit of accent. Oh, you're Jamaican. I'm like,
Yeah. No, they're
nah.
like, "Where did they make you?
Yeah.
What
That's
brand are
literally what
you?"
they're trying to say, though. Or you speak so well.
Yeah.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did you think I was gonna be doing? Dragging knuckles and having child support cases follow me around? What the
I
fuck?
know, right? Are you stereotyping, man? Are you stereotyping me? It's like put him on the edge.
We would never do that because we have our friend John Smith at church, and
Oh
he's
my
one of the
god,
good ones.
he's the good ones. Okay, I'll take your
We're
word.
not racist, but my family did own a plantation.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I've heard those stories too. Like,
Oh, dude, like, and it's funny because, like, even with like music, like, you're like, oh, how dare you put race in whatever? Well, like, I even had to kind of like reassess my love for Pantera because it's not good if you're anybody of color. I mean, fucking Dimebag Darrell, the heir apparent to fucking Eddie Van Halen, has the fucking stars and bars
yep.
on his fucking guitar, right? And then, you know, like the whole like the stars and bars, the history. Don't take away my heritage. Okay, cool. Your heritage, awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
Do you know
But
what
also
that
don't
entails?
fly. But
Yeah.
also don't fly an American flag because that history, y'all had a that was a different country. That was
That's
the
a whole nother place.
that's a whole nother place. Jefferson Davis. That's your motherfucker, not
Yep.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
So don't go America and also whatever. And then also
Yeah.
like the weird Second Amendment is weird, right? For those who want to fucking know about it, the Second Amendment was created because the British and the natives were attacking these little fucking colonies,
They wanted to arm us up.
right? Because they had nothing else.
Yep.
They didn't have any military,
Nope.
and they didn't have any cops,
Nope.
right?
Militia only.
Right. So now that we have the cops
Yeah.
and the whatever, there's no need for the Second Amendment. But then you want to like it's
Yeah.
so rife with whatever. Like, oh, people got on Kaepernick and all the other athletes
Yeah.
for not the flag.
Yeah.
It's like we don't the flag and the national anthem.
Yep.
We only sing the first verse. Let's get to the third verse where they're talking about hanging people.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And again, that guy, Francis Scott Key,
Yep.
was a rich motherfucker. Again, nobody looks at it, right? They're like, he wrote this on a train.
Such a great man.
Yeah, he wrote this on a train as a battle was being waged,
Yep.
and all he sees is a wagging
Yeah,
it
the
on
flag
the
is
distance,
waving, yeah.
like Steve-O's nutsack on Jackass, right? Right? The motherfucker could afford to go on a train.
Yeah, during a war at that.
Right.
Like, had the audacity to just be like, I feel poetic. I'm going to go watch a bloody battle and see if America is America after this.
Yes. Oh my god. So I mean, I don't know if you've got HBO, but there's this great deal. Robert Wool, who's a comedian and actor, right? He had it. Literally, it was only 2 half-hour specials, and it was called "Assume the Position." where he just takes the piss out of like all, like not all of the American shit, but like
I think I've seen an episode. Is that the one where they're like, "Tell me why America's great," and he's like, "America or America's number one." Might be getting some
there
mixed up.
might be it because it did happen after 9/11. But one of my favorite stories from it, when I told my son to watch it with the family, whatever, and he doesn't like the documentaries and shit like that, he actually recited to me like a week ago or a week and a half ago, right? And it goes like this. So you know how we talk about the story about the midnight riot of Paul Revere?
Yeah, the British are coming.
Right. Okay. So not to say that he didn't ride, right? But he might have he rode less than 20 miles.
He rode a quarter of a mile, dude. He
That-
rode to the first motherfucker that he saw and was
Yeah.
like, "Spread the word," and then he's like, "I'm such
I'm
a
out.
patriot."
I'm out, right? But we got a Jewish fella named Nathaniel Bissell who literally goes from like Philly, right?
Yeah, Philly all the way down to like Virginia, basically.
Yeah.
Just shouting all night long. Y'all
Yeah.
better get ready, motherfuckers. It's
Yeah.
about to go down.
Right. And who writes the story? Washington Irving. Do you know why Washington Irving is important?
Yeah, he's color, isn't he?
Huh?
Isn't he black?
I don't know if he is, but so Washington Irving was a rock star because remember, there was kind of music, but kind of not really because we were still trying to figure themselves out after the Queen and shit.
Right.
And again, the first settlers, you got to remember, they weren't like noble people or anything like that. These were the folks that the Queen of both England and Spain were like, y'all fuckers can die. But also, you can
Right.
claim.
Now I'm remembering
Yeah,
now.
you also can claim land if you survive. You
Yeah.
can claim land in my name and whatever. But like, these are motherfuckers that people were like, "Y'all crazy? Get on a fucking boat."
Yep, we out.
Right? Yeah. So again, this Nathaniel Bissell character goes from the fucking tippy top of the 13 colonies all the way to the bitty bottom, right? But Washington Irving, who's a rock star because he made this fucking book called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
The Headless Horseman. Oh,
Right?
okay.
Ichabod Crane.
Yep.
Yep.
Ichabod Crane.
So after that, I mean, we're still making movies and songs about him to this day, right? So after that, he wants to tell the story of America. What sounds better? Nathaniel Bissell? I'm gonna grab a thistle with Nathaniel Bissell, or the late night ride of Paul Revere.
I'm gonna go with Late Night Ride with Paul Revere.
10 points. And that's what we got. And that's the fucking thing that we
Yep.
got perpetuated with, you
Yep.
know, forever.
History, man. Like when you were growing up in school and stuff like that, you'd be like, "Oh, this is what happened. This is facts," right? You're like taking it at word, and then you get older and you kind of figure some things out, and then you're like, "Some things aren't as they said they was." Like,
Oh, the fucking Boston Tea Party is like one of the worst things, right?
yep, dude.
So you-
I was so like, they didn't tell me they dressed up as Indians and they went and protested the tea tax and all that. These motherfuckers just went mayhem. It was just horrible, dude. Like, oh my god.
Yo, and those are the same descendants, right? Because, oh, my great grandfather did the fucking Boston Tea Party.
Yep.
Cool story, bro. That was a protest, right?
Yeah.
But you don't like the protest now. All
Yeah,
right.
no. Oh, we can't do what they did. These
Yeah.
guys literally like went aboard a royal ship and broke all the laws. Like they were meant to be hooked.
Oh my
after
god.
that.
No, 100%. And here's the thing. They were so scary, right? They were so scary that the British or the natives were going to fuck with them that they went and created like almost a damn racist thing, painted themselves in red face.
Yep. They went full
Right?
red face.
Right, full red face, so that if any whatever that the British
Blame
go after,
the Native Americans.
yeah,
They're
100%.
"Oh, it wasn't I.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
love
I."
my tea.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
don't like tea. They drink
Yeah.
coffee.
Yes, no, 1,000%. And then think about the fucking all the tea that went into fucking Boston Harbor. This is probably the Exxon Valdez
Yeah,
mobile spill of its day.
all the
How many
freaking
how many fucking types of fishes that were there or that are there no longer just because those dumbasses fucking dumped tea
dude.
and
I can imagine the just the repercussions of doing that because they didn't just throw tea. It was the tea party. They didn't just go, okay, guys, just the tea, okay, just the tea. They threw everything,
everything in the
oil,
ship.
everything but the boat itself. It was like if it was on
The
the boat, it was
people,
getting tossed.
yeah.
People, anything, dude. The freaking captain himself, if they found him, they were gonna throw his ass off there. So it was. It's called the tea party, but it was there's a lot more than just tea dumping going on.
Dude, the Boston Massacre, right? That kind
Yeah,
of 5 people.
5 people massacre. 5 people because they can't, like you said, which is better, night ride a polar beer or grab a thistle with Bissell. Like they were like, oh my god, 5 people died. Nah, Boston Massacre.
Yes.
Print it, Jones.
Yes.
Print it.
Yes. And that's the deal with Robert Wool. He's like when you're faced with fact or fiction, print the fiction.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Hell, even like
Throw
when
a
I
little truth. Throw a little truth in there, just enough so it's got some clout behind it. But embellish the details. Make it freaking like a
yeah,
epic poem by
yes.
Homer.
Oh, when I went to radio school, right? Like back in the early 2000s, right? And the way that's why I love podcasting and other forums, Facebook Live, Twitch, whatever the fuck, whatever, because like we can do or say what you want theoretically, right?
Right.
And I remember, because sales, right? You have to sell ads. All those people that you hear on the radio, anywhere, they've sold hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of ads, right? So that's why they get on the air. But to have these ads be worth a fucking damn, you got to stay through the commercials, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
our instruction, this is an actual reputable fucking journalism radio school, right? Look at the paper, look at the headline, and basically 7 seconds. We had three to 7 seconds to keep people around until we were back on air again. So they would have to listen to the fucking commercials and not, and not turn to the other station.
Right. Not don't touch that dial. Right.
Yeah, no, but like if it was just like, oh, you know, cat, and it had to have a nugget of truth, right? So, I can't think of an actual deal, but like, I'm gonna put it in a wrestling term, right? So Ted DiBiase had the $1 million belt, right? Back in the day, right? So all of the diamonds and shit that you see with the money signs, well, guess what? Those are cubic zirconias. Those are Swarovski crystals, right?
Yeah.
Like still expensive, but a fraction of the
What it's
diamonds.
actually worth. Yeah.
So what what Vince McMahon did was there's in the back there's 4 or 5 teeny tiny diamonds, legit, right? Do you know why that was? So if anybody asked the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, if if those are real
Oh.
diamonds in there, or if
He
there's
can
real
just
diamond,
pull one and be like, check this
no, no,
out.
no, that he would be legitimate. You didn't have to. Nobody, and if you look at pictures of it, it's been around for what 30 years,
Yeah.
right? They've even brought it back for NXT. There's not one picture of the back. So again, when people ask him, "Are there real diamonds in there?" he can say, "Yes."
He can
there's
say,
real.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a nugget of truth to it.
Yeah, exactly,
A
and
carrot of
that's
truth.
yeah, but unfortunately, that's what media has become, and that's one of the reasons. My grandfather was the first Fijian-born broadcaster in all of Fiji, right? And stuff like broadcasting, journalism, those were sacred things that were talked about in my house, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not anymore, right? So I'm a podcaster interviewer. I'm not a journalist.
Right.
I'm not trying. There's no scoop that you have that I want.
I will figure your story out and I will tell
Yes.
the world.
Oh, yeah. Or let me clip it up so I can get a nice soundbite out of you.
There you go. Yeah, right. You're like, oh, Lobo Loco says
Y-
this and that, and then
Yeah.
everybody's like, "You're garbage. I don't like you."
Yes. Yeah. And what was the main retraction when anybody says they took my quote out of context?
Yep. Yep. That's the go-to.
Yeah.
Like the Miley Cyrus awards thing when Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus were going at it, and she was like, "What's up? What's good, Miley? You was talking that shit," and she
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, you know those things in interviews they take words out of context." So, and then she just tried to blow it off, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is what it is, I guess."
Also, she could have been legit scared of Nicki Minaj. I
I would
am.
have been scared.
I
I
am
got
still
called
scared
out
of
on
her.
stage in front of millions of people, and they're man, and then and maybe and if it was true, and I got caught talking shit, and yeah, dude, I've been looking out for Lil Wayne, Drake,
Security!
all of them. Yeah.
Security! Shit. I don't. I'm not even giving a damn. She's scary. Her
Yep.
and that other one. Who's the other one? The coronavirus is real. I
I'm
want to
drawing a
say
blank.
it's Nicki Minaj and
Cardi B.
yes,
Yeah. Cardi
they
B, the Nicki wannabe.
this
Sorry.
yeah no, but for me they can't even form a sentence.
No. No, their grammar is horrible. They use much slang, and yeah, these are the people that are teaching our kids now, like
Well, yeah,
what is kosher to speak and how to
or
speak.
even like racial epithets, which I don't use because that's when somebody that's racist and wants to use that word, right?
Hmm.
They're like, oh, don't you guys say it? So I make sure I take that out of their fucking mouth, right?
Yep.
But what's his face? Not little, the young and wild and freak guy. Wizzy Khalifi or something.
Wiz Khalifa.
Yes, that guy.
Yep.
Okay, so I know enough about today's hip hop that he probably uses the N word in his music. Okay, pretty fair
It's
assessment.
pretty much a given.
Okay,
Any rap artist will drop that bomb.
so he's on Rogan
Yeah.
for 2 hours. Do you know how many times he utters it?
I want to say zero and hope for the best. Yeah. Classy. There you go.
So if he's able to express himself there for 2 hours, but a runtime of 58 minutes of a full album
Right.
or a concert, every other word.
Dropping the bomb. Yeah, it's
But then, if you use it, then you're a racist. He'll be the first one,
yep.
right?
That's
So
our word.
yeah, so it's not my word. Shit, man, my people were hanging from trees with people opening up Bibles and having Sunday dinners while this shit is going on.
Yep.
Hey, my word, y'all can have that shit.
Yep.
Fuck it, don't bring that shit around me. Or like Inglewood, always up to no good. I grew up in Inglewood. I was like, no, there's doctors, lawyers, sports athletes, kids that grew up without fathers, grew up
Mhm.
without mothers, being amazing parents to their kids,
Yep.
being amazing step parents to their spouse's kids.
Yep.
Right? I'm not amazing to my step kid, but they're alive.
They're breathing. They got a
They're
roof over
breathing.
their head.
And the same way that I raised the older three, the one that's the blood child, the one that's biologically mine, same shit.
Yep.
And it's Rogan's a step parent. When he says my older daughter, if you kind of read between the leaves, his wife's ex is a dark fellow, an African gentleman, if you will.
Yeah.
He's, yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So like that's the thing. So I hate those euphemisms of like you have to be that those whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Like
actually what
nobody
what
wants
me-
to be put in a box, dude.
oh
Nobody
no.
wants to be in a box.
But that's one of the reasons why, like, the whole Nipsey Hussle thing kind of, like, offended me. Because here's a guy that supposedly wanted to bridge the gap between Compton and Watts in
Mm-hmm.
impoverished cities all over to Silicon Valley, right?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if you did what Nipsey Hussle did: tattooed your face,
That man did
rapped,
well.
carried guns, do you, and you're faced with Bill Gates, and you use the same lingo and terminology
Yeah,
as Nipsey did. You think you're getting the job?
absolutely not.
Right, exactly. So again, the whole mission statement is fucked because the captain of the ship is kind of he's the one fucking burning a hole.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're all going down together. I'm just not
Ain't,
gonna tell you about
ain't that a hole in a boat? Yeah, man.
it.
No, man. Ah, fuck, dude. You're awesome. You got anything to plug? What the fuck you do now, or
Do what?
you got anything to plug?
I don't get it.
Like anything to promote?
Oh, sorry. I'm tired, man. My brain is tired.
That's all right.
Yeah, I guess I got some promotions. Go ahead and check me out at Ground Control. The tag is for Instagram at Ground Control Palm Beach. You can catch me on Loco Lobo MMA on Instagram, and on Facebook I am Lobo Loco. So if you want to check out what's going on there, ask questions, anything like that, I'm an open book. And also make sure that you get on this show and watch the show According to Woods. It's fun. It's a gas. You can interact. You can talk. I mean, they respond. It's interactive podcast. Just listen, have fun.
Have, have fun. Take care. Spike your hair. No, thank you for the rigging endorsement, my man, and thank you guys for watching us here at According to Woods. And if you don't believe me or you don't believe Lobo Loco, to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. I don't know why you wouldn't, but here's Zeta Zhang to help convince you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe to According to Wood.